everyone. This is Deb with Four Seasons Crafts. So I wanted to come on today to show you a technique, several around making your paper look worn. And we're going to be using this Cactus Cuties Stamp Set. I absolutely love it. It comes with a coordinating punch as well. So super fun to play with. So I'm really gonna show you more of the techniques. Then we're gonna and then I'm gonna show you a finished card. But let's go ahead and get started. One thing I want to point out this month for my card kit in the mail, if you spend $50 using this host code, you are going to get cards for these 5 designs. And the stamp set that's being used for this particular one is the Tulip Fields. I absolutely love it. But everything is die cut for you. So the only thing you have to do is kind of cut some of the paper, and then of course obviously do some of the stamping and layouts because nothing is stamped. But these are the 5 cards. Let me just show these. This is a fun fold here. Super cute. Love the colors of this one. Just really very elegant. And this one also is a little bit of a fun fold there. And then there's this one here. So very, you know, I really liked how they came out because they all are different colors, which I think is neat. And you can use sentiments because you'll notice in that stamp set you don't get any sentiments. So you can use sentiments that you already have for these particular cards. And this is how they're packaged, just so you know. So you're going to get a clear medium-sized envelope, and those will be closed, and then you'll get a PDF actually mailed with the package, as well as, and then if you order in the month of April, I'm also going to give you free with that $50 order along with the card kit, and that is swatches. These are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and you're going to get just kind of a little bit of instructions about the different ways you can find colors that match. You get a ring to put your colors on, and this is what they look like. So they're all labeled, and it has all the current colors. And I was debating, but I'm actually going to also put in the newest colors. Now I have a limited number, so when you go to my site, if this host code here is down, that means I have run out of the card kits. And I think I have, I don't know, maybe 7 left or so. But these are the actual new in colors. So you're also going to get those as well, and those will be labeled. All right, enough of that. So let's go ahead and talk about our techniques. So ways to make our paper look a little more worn. And what I want to show you is just the progression that as you make those changes, what your card can look like. So here's a card right here that's just completed, and we're going to kind of start with this one and lay it here off to the side. This one is, there is no worn look. I love it. It's very straight and looks very clean, and I really like that. But I wanted to give it a little more dimension, so we're going to do something different. By the way, a little tip here. You will notice this side here at the bottom. See how this is more thick than this side? I kind of put this on crooked, and I couldn't move it to change it back, which is why I then tilted the whole section of the card, but you can't even tell. So just a little tip there. If you ever put something down wrong, just put it tilted on the card and no one's going to notice. And then this one also has some decorations on the inside that I thought looked really nice. Okay, so again, pretty straightforward, kind of not a lot of dimension there. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take a piece of, this is cinnamon cider, and we're going to use blending brushes, okay, to start out. So now I'm going to take my cinnamon cider ink and smooth that just out of the way. And one of the ways you can kind of make your card look a little weathered is to just put ink on the outside. So that's going to be our first thing we're going to do. We're just going to dab our brush. Remember, anytime you do this, always just dab a little bit on your scrap paper. And that way, when you go around, you're not going to get like a splotch. Because even though we're doing it on the edge, we still don't want any kind of big splotches around the edge. All right, so here we go. We're just gonna take this all the way around. And there you have it. Okay, so you can see, hopefully you can kind of see the kind of shadowed effect. Okay, so I have a one that looks similar to this, and I'm just gonna kind of lay it up against there. But you can see how you're going to get a different, just a slightly different look with the shadowing or the shading around the edges than you do. And let me flip this other light on here, give us a little more light. But you can hopefully see that. Okay, so that's one thing you can do to give your card just a little more dimension, is just put some shading around the edges. And here's, I'm going to show you one that I did in green as well. This might give you a little bit of an idea. So here is Pear Pizzazz, and it has some soft suede around the edge. So instead of tone on tone, this one's two different. And you can see how much, you know, just again, just a little bit of a different look. All right, now the next thing you can do, we're going to put this away, is I can actually take, and we'll just use, well, we're going to use a different one because I want to show you at the end kind of the different looks. So let's take this piece. This is soft suede. One of the other things you can do is take some, this is alcohol, but you can also use just water. Absolutely no difference between the two. But what I can do now is I can actually spray this. So I'm just going to spray it here. Get my little work surface all wet, but that's all right. And then I'm just going to crinkle up my card. It's like, you know, great time, right? Take out your little bit of frustration there. So I'm going to spray it with some alcohol. And the difference between alcohol and water, guys, the only difference is it's going to dry a little quicker. That is it. But you can use your heat tool if you use water. I'm not sure if I would put alcohol and then use my heat tool. I don't think it would cause a fire, but I certainly don't want to attempt it. Okay, so do not try that at home. This is just taking some alcohol, but do you see what a totally different look? Now this is going to dry. It looks weathered, and it almost looks a little like a leather or something. So I just want to line up these three pieces, okay? So we have one that we put some, let's just put maybe a little bit more ink around the edges here. Maybe you can get a little bit more of an idea there. So I have one piece that I've put some ink around the edges using a blending brush. This one, I put alcohol or water and crinkled it all up. And then, of course, this is just my plain piece. But hopefully you can just see the differences just with that. I think that looks great. So now we could take this piece here and even go a little further with it. And we could put, and I have one already done here, and we could put some ink around the edges. So this one I took, and I'll just add just a little bit more. I took some ink, and just after I sprayed it with the alcohol and crumpled it up and it dried, then I went back in with my blending brush and I just put some ink around the edges. And again, got a totally different look there than I did with just doing this option here. Okay, so that gives me kind of 4 options so far, and now I've got one more. And this one, I took a sheet, and what you can do is take it, spray it with some water or alcohol, and then rip some of the, crinkle it all up, and then rip some of the edges. And that's what I did here, was I ripped some of the edges up. So same concept as this one here. Only then what I did was I took my heat tool and I scorched some of the edges right here. So you'll see, you know, when you see like an old weathered map, kind of looks like that, I thought. Kind of curls them up a little bit. So let's just take these 5 that we have, and I have one more that I wanted to show you that you can do to kind of make paper look a little more weathered. Let's get that out of the way here. I have one more piece, and this is just simply to take a piece and you can just kind of rip off the edges, right? Just gives it more of a rough look. So you can combine any of these techniques. So I could take any one of these and rip the edges if I wanted to. But now what we're going to do is I'm just going to put some of our, do this way. I'm just going to take some of these that I have. Hopefully, I might not have enough little cacti that I cut out here, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what these can look like in these varying colors and just how different they look. So let me scoot this up just a tad more here so you guys can see all of them. There we go. And we'll put them in some different orders here so that you get an idea. All right. Let's see. I think that's good. And again, as you go through and decide, oh, you know, I like this or I like that, it just hopefully will show you. And again, I'm just gonna lay these out so that you can get some ideas on, you know, on what you might like. All right. So there we go. I don't have, let's see. I was gonna see if I could, we'll do it this way. We're totally cheating. This is like another, this is like another one, but I think it gives you, at least you'll see something there, right? It's an upside down cactus, and we'll add a little color to that one, just so you can see what it looks like. And I have another flower here. I do. And we'll put him right there. All right. So I hope you guys can just see the differences here with all the different options you have. And then here's this one that I just showed you. And then we have our card that we did. And then I want to pull in one other one. So we talked about using kind of our blending brush, right? Well, here you go. You can also use your blending brush, and I use the same colors, and I'll bring those in too. This is just some soft suede, or no, this might be cinnamon cider, I'm sorry, so saffron, and then calypso coral. And I just took my blending brush on each one of those and made kind of a sunset. But you can see now, if I were to put that on here, look how nice that looks. Isn't that cool? And yet I could do the same thing and put it right here and get a totally different look, or again, a totally different look. So just lots of different options for using the Cactus Cuties stamp set, and lots of different ways to get that worn look on your paper. So remember, we have one here that is, and I'm going to just zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see them just a little bit. You're only going to see a portion for a sec, but you'll see this is the blending. This one's ripped and torn but crinkled. This one's just crinkled and sprayed and then crinkled. This one was sprayed and crinkled and then had some of the blending around the edge. This one is just all just by itself naturally. And then this one was torn down the edge. So lots of different options. So the colors that we used for these, let me show you. We used Pear Pizzazz, Calypso Coral, So Saffron, and Soft Suede. And then I also used Cinnamon Cider, which is over here, opened. So anyhow, I hope you guys would love to hear any comments you have about these, just different options. But again, no completed cards, but just different techniques to make your paper look a little worn. And again, if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love for you to be your demonstrator. If you need a catalog, please reach out. You can go to fourseasonscrafts.com to my blog, or you can go to shop4seasonscrafts.com, and that will take you to my online store where you can then purchase the Cactus Cuties. And again, don't forget, if you place an order of $50 or more, you can use that host code, and I will send you the card kit as well as the color class in the mail. So thanks much, guys. Have a great day. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you come back and learn some other new things. Thanks much. Bye.